Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Emma Lefebvre, and today we're doing something completely different, something that has been months in the making. This is going to be a quick video, but maybe important to you. So, lightfastness. What is that? Okay, so the definition, lightfast, of a dye or pigment not prone to discolor when exposed to light. That is the gist of it. And when it comes to watercolor, certain watercolors have a great Lightfast rating. They are made with certain pigments, and then others are made with dyes which tend to fade, and that kind of gives us an idea of quality. So I'm not going to go into like depth about all this. I'm sure there's people in the comments which would love to teach you more than I know, because I don't know everything. I'm going to be completely honest. That is basically my understanding of it. And my other understanding is of the test that I have done on all my paints. So that is the purpose of this video. Basically, what I have done is I have created this paint chart of 10 different watercolor sets that I have. And what I did was I swatched 3 or 4 colors of each type of watercolor that I had. I put half of them behind paper, half of them exposed, and this has been sitting in my window since June. It is November, so it's been in there for about 4 or 5 months, and what we're going to be doing right now is purely just seeing which ones have faded and which ones have not. Some of the watercolors here are very, very cheap, like this Prang set, which is like a kid's watercolor set, but that's kind of what I wanted to show you. And then some are handmade ones by like KMS Watercolor and Beam Watercolors, and then you have Winsor and Newton Professional, Daniel Smith, M. Graham, all that stuff. And so today I'm going to be revealing to yourself and to myself, because I haven't seen the results yet, of the Lightfast tests for these brands. So I'm quite curious to see, because when picking out paints, I knew that Winsor and Newton Professional were going to be really well rated. I knew they had a great Lightfast rating, which means that they don't fade over time when exposed to light. But I definitely wanted to compare it to the Winsor Newton COTMAN, which is student grade, and then some of the other high and lower quality brands. So let's get right into it and take a look. Okay, so here is my chart. Excuse my my awful writing. And we're just going to reveal one at a time. So my first one here is Winsor Newton Professional. And I tried to use all the same colors for this test. And I know some pigments, some colors actually don't have as high of a Lightfast rating, even in some like professional sets. I'm not completely sure what they are. Someone can let me know in the comments and tell me I'm wrong, but that's cool. But we're just going to kind of reveal them now. So Winsor and Newton Professional are my first ones. Let's peel this back and see if there's a difference. Okay, so far I don't see a difference. This has been in the window for 4 months. This has not. Let's look up close. I wasn't expecting a change because they are professional watercolors. You shouldn't really have a change. So this is a good sign that Winsor and Newton Professional have a great Lightfast rating. Okay, let's check out Winsor Newton COTMAN. So this is a student grade, cheaper than Winsor Newton Professional. I believe that some pigments are not Lightfast, but I don't know what really to expect with this one. Okay, so that's interesting. It's the same. I don't really see too much of a fade line. And if you're wondering if, I did this properly, we'll see as we keep going, or else this is a total bust. But it looks the same, at least with these 4 pigments. So you could really mix these primary colors and get any color you need to anyway. So that's pretty cool. Okay, the next one, Paul Rubens. Wow, okay, so these haven't faded either. I really hope I did this right. Paul Rubens haven't faded. I do feel like maybe these ones are a bit more vibrant, like some of these reds, and just even like putting some of them down on the paper, I noticed that some brands were a little bit more vibrant, but I don't know. We'll talk about that after. Okay, Beam Watercolor, which is a really great Canadian company, and these are handmade. Let's see. No fading. So these are Lightfast as well. That's good to know. Okay, let's check out Praying, which is like kind of like Crayola. Super like kid friendly. But if anything's going to fade, it's going to be these. So let's see if I actually did this test correctly and it worked. And there we go. So there you can tell that those are not Lightfast. So this was done correctly. And so far the only ones that faded were the Praying, which is expected because I think, and I'm pretty sure that Praying is made from dyes. It's not really like a pigment. Most kids' watercolor sets are, so this makes a lot of sense. But look at the difference there, right? Okay, so it's good to know that these 4 have a great Lightfast rating. Okay, Daniel Smith, look how vibrant these paints are, just to begin with. Even like just the red and the yellow, super vibrant. So I'm curious. These I'm expecting to have no change because Daniel Smith is a great company. Like I said, no change. It's a little lighter here, but I think that's just because, like, it can't be because of the paper. It might just be because there was more pigment over here in the middle or something. Okay, M. Graham is another really good watercolor company. Those are great too. No fading whatsoever. Okay, Muño. Muño is, I'll show you my palette. This is my Muño palette, and I actually really like using it. It's a lot of fun. It has a ton of colors, but I don't think they're professional or artist grade. So we will actually see right now because this yellow looks a little faded, but let's see. Whoa! Look at the difference. That's crazy. What? Okay, but this is so weird because the red hadn't faded and the blue hadn't faded. So maybe those pigments are better or have a better Lightfast rating. I don't know. That is super interesting. So if you know, let me know in the comments why that is. But like, look at the difference between the yellow and the green. That is intense. I feel like that's even almost more intense than these. Wow. Okay, so Muño is not a great candidate for Lightfast ratings. Still a great fun palette to use. It's affordable. It's fun. Leave it at that. Next we have KMS Watercolours, which is a small watercolor. She makes them on Etsy, and now I think she has her own website, and I have done a review of her watercolors before and I really like them. So let's see if they are Lightfast. All right. So I don't think I see any fading. The one thing with her watercolors, they're beautiful, but they are a little less vibrant. They're a bit more muted tones, some of them, just the ones that I have. So that's maybe why they don't look as vibrant. And those were just the colors I had, but they didn't fade. There's, I think the little bit, I don't know if you can see, there's a little line here for the red pigment, but still for being in the window, like hot sun for 4 months, that's not bad. And then last but not least, Faber-Castell. This was another student palette. I didn't have the professional one. So I'm actually kind of curious. Huh, it did not fade. And that's the student palette that I was not fond of. That is interesting. So it didn't fade either. So those are my findings. I feel like a scientist here. And really only 2 had Lightfast issues, and not even all the colors for the Muño palette. So that means the majority of my watercolors actually did really well in the light. So it was a super short video, but I hope maybe it kind of gave you a little bit of insight to what paints are worth it and maybe what paints aren't. But even so, I mean, it depends what you're using your paints for. If you're just crafting and having fun, I don't think it really matters what paints you have. But that was just a little test that I've been kind of dying to do for so long and try and understand Lightfast a bit more. Like I said, I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. So if you would like to educate us in the comments below a little bit more about Lightfast and pigments and all that stuff, give us a little bit of information. But I just wanted to show you the paints that I have and how they did in the sun. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.